headlines for the week. Of course, It's Happening Out is loosely a news show. And
are you calling us loose?
Among other things, yes. Let's talk about the headlines of what is big in the headlines this week. First in the headlines is the issue about the Trump administration as it relates to gay parents. And it has come out that the Trump administration is denying citizenship applications to the kids of gay parents if they were born abroad. It's being reported in terms of the issues related to that. What does everybody think about what we learned this week?
This is a complex issue, but this is totally false. And as far as I'm concerned, this represents a dog whistle by the Democrats to try and rally the gay community against Donald Trump because it is totally false.
Okay. All right. Other thoughts?
Fake news. Just fake news.
Joe, aren't you tired of constantly coming on here to defend Trump's LGBT bigotry?
It has nothing
to
do with
military
LGBT.
trans ban.
Right.
The Equality Act last week. Now this.
He wants to block trans people from homeless shelters.
When y'all gonna get? Trump doesn't give a fuck about us, and he doesn't give a fuck about you, girl. I'm telling you.
What were you talking about?
He don't give a damn about us.
How is this not an LGBTQ problem?
It has nothing to do with LGBTQ. It is all about the parent, the child, born. It's a long.
Spit it out,
okay,
Mary.
so I'm glad,
Spit it out.
So I'm glad you went there.
I'm not going to go there because
so
in our pre-meeting I was
so
told
here's the thing.
not to go into the details.
So here's the thing.
Because it doesn't work.
I'll read about it on your page.
May I? So the big thing.
No, you can't. We're over.
There you go. Not
I
over.
got a chip, motherfuckers. How about that? I hope you enjoy that drink. So here's the thing, and I wasn't going to use my chip on this, but here we are. So the big thing when it comes down to why these parents or these children are being blocked from citizenship has to do with being born, quote unquote, out of wedlock.
No,
okay, we've all heard that before. We've all heard the religious
she's bought the
arguments of
chip.
being out of wedlock. Now, it doesn't matter if these children's parents are married. What matters is whether or not they have a biological connection, which I could almost kind of understand, except for the fact that straight parents have zero verifications as to whether or not they're biologically connected. There is no paternity test. There's no Jerry Springer coming out to find out, are you really the father? They just assume if you're a man and a woman that must be your child if you're on the birth certificate. When it comes to a gay couple, they are not given that liberty of just assuming that, yes, you must be who you say you are. You must be these children's parents. So bullshit on the born out of wedlock concept to begin with, and bullshit on the fact that Trump, or on the claim that Trump is pro-LGBT.
Okay, unless somebody else has anything
Joe.
to
And I
do,
finished right on time.
we're
No,
moving
'cause
ahead.
It's bullshit. I'm going to write about
we
it
got
because
it,
it's bullshit.
and you're overriding our rules, so please don't do that. Unless you have more to say,
Go forward.
Then you won't talk over us. Thank you. We move on to other big news in the week that has to do with college admission, and that is the SAT test. It was announced this week that the SAT was adding an adversity score to account for economic and social hardship, and that they were going to weight those that took the SAT that were adversely affected either economically or socially in America. What do y'all think about the issues of what the SAT has done?
I think it's about damn time. You know, listen, I mean, they're not, yeah, I know, it's hilarious too.
It's bullshit.
They're not using this as a way to give anybody a leg up per se. It's just a matter of let's use a scientific, mathematical way to calculate these hardships listen, systematic racism is a thing, okay? Like, grow up, it's 2019. We know this, and I think it's about time that they at least consider it.
I'm really curious to see who can see these bonus points being added to the score and how they're determined as well. Is it the schools that can see the actual score, the base score before these points are added?
People, yeah.
So can they tell how much extra adversity points an individual was given? They'll have the actual liberty to see how much of it.
Who decides what's adversity points?
I don't know. I'm curious about all the factors.
I think broadly what the SAT is doing is if you're black, it's X. If you're Latino, it's Y.
You're
If
poor,
low
and you're
income,
disabled.
Check
Take
it
care
off.
of all
It's
that.
bonus.
Yeah.
Bonus
It's
points.
already
I
Title
understand.
Title
I was
VII, so it
only
makes no
defining
sense.
what the SAT is doing. That's all. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm
Listen,
just giving
nobody's
you
colorblind,
definition.
okay?
Yeah.
I'm on the fence with it.
Are you? Why?
I mean, I could see both sides. I could certainly see the logic in it. At the same time, I'm not really sure. I guess I need more information. I'm just not really sure if it's the best application or if it's fair.
Terrific observation, because America, I want to let you know, we already decided when we had our host meeting to briefly discuss this subject today, we decided that we were going to have a full segment conversation next week on It's Happening Out. And next Wednesday's show, we're going to explore this thoroughly. And really what we're focusing on, using the SAT as an example, is should there be any leg up opportunities in America in 2019? Should
Except
you
for
be
white people.
aided? Should you be aided in any way if you're a minority, if you're poor, if you're gay, well, whatever it might be? And we're going to do a full segment on this next week
I
at
can't
It's
wait.
Happening Out.
Really
Also in the news this week, and it was big news, Taiwan became the first country in Asia to legalize same-sex marriage. It was the first country that did it, and we are going to watch this closely because Asia has been very far behind Western countries in the Western Hemisphere, Europe, and South America even. And so Taiwan becomes the first, and we'll continue to watch if that has any effect in tumbling other countries.
That was exciting.
Last but not least was news this week about the West Point graduating class. And it wasn't such news about graduating from West Point, the Army's military academy, but this picture we saw. Look at this amazing
beautiful.
picture. It is the most number of women of color ever to graduate from the academy in history.
Come on, black girl magic.
It's exactly right. It not only creates breaking through the barrier of the Army, toxic masculinity. Certainly, once upon a time, we would have used the phrase toxic masculinity at West Point. Women breaking through it, but even more specific this week, women of color breaking through it. And I thought that this picture was so interesting because the graduation picture illustrating this point, all of these cadets were willing to be so aggressively forward in showing the swords of the power of these black women. I thought amazing in the news this week
One
at
second.
the academy.
I love the fashion. Number 2, 19 Hispanic women graduated in this class, which is the largest number of Hispanic
Oh,
women.
I
that's
hadn't
really
heard
cool.
that. That's
Nice.
great, awesome.
And this
Go Latinas.
West Point is a very well-known Army.
Wait,
academy.
we're not going to talk about this, but thank you for
Sorry.
sharing it, unless you're going to chip in.
Nope.
Okay.
The
all right.
white man does have
so
the last say
those
after all.
are. Did you hear, Aaron?
Christian.
White man has the last word. Yes.
Welcome to America.
All right.
Thanks so much for watching us. If you like what you saw, please subscribe to our channel and follow us on Facebook.